Imagine this with me for a moment, my dear one. Imagine standing at the edge of your life with your palms open, your breath soft, your heart willing, and your energy saying, "Yes, I trust something good is on its way." That simple shift, that softening of your inner posture, that gentle openness in your being is far more powerful than the world has ever taught you. Most of us grew up believing we had to hold everything tightly, control every outcome, predict every detail, guard against every loss. We were taught to brace, to push, to force, to fight. But life was never designed to be wrestled with. Life was designed to be partnered with. And when you loosen your grip, when you relax your jaw, when you soften your shoulders, when you breathe deeply into the truth that you do not need to control anything to be safe, you enter a new reality, a reality where life can finally flow toward you instead of being blocked by you. You see, we don't suffer because life is unkind. We suffer because we tighten around life. We fear what might happen next, so we try to control it. We fear losing what we have, so we cling to it. We fear being disappointed, so we assume the worst. And all that fear becomes a wall that good things cannot pass through. But the moment you act as if good things are coming, you pierce a hole in that wall. You create an opening. You make space for life to show you its kindness. Acting as if is not pretending. Acting as if is remembering. Remembering that there is a version of you who trusts the process. A version of you who doesn't need to know how. A version of you who relaxes into the flow of life instead of resisting it. A version of you who believes that life is always moving you towards something meaningful. Acting as if is not lying to yourself, it is aligning with the part of you that already knows you are meant for more. When you act as if, your energy shifts first and life responds second. I have taught this for decades because I have watched it change thousands of lives. People come to me anxious, afraid, discouraged, and I say gently, "My darling, just try acting as if something good is on its way." And they say, "But Louise, isn't that unrealistic?" And I say, "No, unrealistic is believing nothing good can ever happen again. You are not being naive when you expect blessings. You are being aligned. You are not delusional when you anticipate miracles. You are being receptive. You are not pretending when you loosen your shoulders and say, 'Something wonderful is unfolding for me.' You are telling the universe, 'I am ready to receive.'" Think about your body for a moment. When you expect danger, your muscles tighten, your heart races, your breath shortens, your mind scans for threats. When you expect good, your entire physiology responds. Your breath deepens, your chest expands, your nervous system softens, your intuition awakens. Acting as if good things are coming places your body in a state of openness, receptivity, and safety. And my dear, the body heals in safety. The heart opens in safety. The mind expands in safety. Life flows to the nervous system that is relaxed enough to let it in. I want you to take a breath with me now, a slow one, a soft one. And as you inhale, imagine the air whispering, "You are guided. And as you exhale, imagine your body letting go of years of bracing, all the old stories that taught you you had to do everything alone. Because here is the truth you may have forgotten. Life is always helping you, always supporting you, always guiding you, always leading you towards something better. When you act as if good things are coming, you are not creating false hope. You are aligning with the natural flow of life itself. People often ask me, Louise, how do I know if something good is coming? And I say, you know because you decide to know. You choose the assumption that serves your soul. You choose the belief that nurtures your spirit. You choose the inner narrative that allows you to relax, soften, and trust. Assume the good and life will rise to meet that assumption. This is not wishful thinking. This is energetic law. What you assume, you attract. What you expect, you invite. What you believe, you create. Let me tell you a small story. I once sat with a woman who had spent years assuming the worst. Every phone call terrified her. Every new opportunity made her anxious. Every relationship felt like a threat. And she looked at me with tears in her eyes and said, Louise, I'm so tired of waiting for life to hurt me. And I said gently, my darling, then let us choose a different assumption. I asked her to wake up each morning and whisper, something wonderful is coming. Not with pressure, not with force, not with fake enthusiasm, just a whisper, just a willingness. And do you know what happened? Her posture changed, her tone changed, her choices changed, her life changed, not because magic fell from the sky, but because she became a magnet for new possibilities. Life responds to your openness. Life responds to your expectations. Life responds to your willingness to believe that you are supported. When you act as if good things are coming, you step into the frequency where good things live. You walk into a room differently. You make decisions differently. You carry yourself differently. And the world feels that difference. People feel that difference. Opportunities feel that difference. Let me ask you this. What would you do differently today if you truly believed something good was coming? Would you speak more kindly to yourself? Would you take better care of your body? Would you stop rushing? Would you stop apologizing for existing? Would you stop living in fear of what if and start living in the hope of what's possible? This is the magic of acting as if it changes the way you show up long before life catches up. And life always catches up. My dear one, life is not against you. Life has never been against you. Life is not punishing you. Life is not delaying you. Life is preparing you. And the moment you soften into trust, the moment you loosen your grip on outcomes, the moment you dare to whisper, good things are coming for me, the universe hears that whisper as a request, as permission, as a signal. You do not need proof to believe. You need belief to create proof. So let us close softly with a truth I have spoken for many years. When you relax, when you trust, when you expect good, life rises lovingly, faithfully, beautifully to meet you. Acting as if is not pretending, it is remembering. remembering who you are, remembering what is possible, remembering that you are safe to hope again, and you are. There is good on its way to you. Let your energy be open enough to receive it. I love to talk about the mind, my dear, because once you understand how your mind works, you stop fearing it and you start shaping it gently, lovingly, deliberately. I have spent my entire life teaching people that the mind is not your enemy. The mind is a tool, a garden, a space of pure creation. But like any garden, it grows what you plant. And like any tool, it repeats what you teach it. The mind believes the story you tell it most often, not the story that is most true, not the story that is most loving, not the story that serves your highest good, simply the one you repeat again and again. The mind doesn't filter, it doesn't argue, it doesn't evaluate, it accepts. That is why I always say, change your thoughts and you change your life. Because when you change the story, you change the lens. When you change the lens, you change your reactions. And when you change your reactions, you change your entire reality. This is why I love teaching people about the inner story, the narrative your brain silently repeats long after you have forgotten when it started. Maybe you heard it from your parents. Maybe you absorbed it from school. Maybe you learned it from an old wound, a disappointment, a heartbreak. And once the mind hears something often enough, it assumes this must be the truth. If you tell yourself, I'm unlucky, I'm not the kind of person good things happen to, life is always hard for me, then your mind becomes a detective searching for evidence to support that belief. Not because it is trying to punish you, but because that is how the mind works. It looks for what it knows. It repeats what is familiar. It protects what is programmed. And here is the part most people don't realize. The mind is far more loyal to your old story than it is to your happiness. Why? Because the brain prefers familiarity over joy. Familiarity feels safe. Familiarity feels predictable. Familiarity feels known. So even if your old story makes you unhappy, as long as it is familiar, your brain will cling to it. That is why changing your life begins with changing your story, not with forcing yourself, not with punishing yourself, not with telling yourself you're wrong, but with understanding. The story you live in today is simply the story you practiced the longest, and anything practiced can be unpracticed. Anything learned can be unlearned. Anything repeated can be rewritten. So let us step into the next truth together. You have the right, the power, and the freedom to rewrite your story whenever you choose. You are not bound to the thoughts you inherited. You are not chained to the beliefs you absorbed at 5 years old. You are not imprisoned by the narrative someone else gave you. The moment you say, I choose a new story, you begin to break the cycle. The past does not need to be denied. It simply needs to be recontextualized. You are not erasing who you were. You are updating who you are becoming. Imagine this with me. Imagine telling a new story so often, so lovingly, so consistently that it becomes more familiar than the old one. Imagine repeating to yourself, I am worthy, I am capable, I am guided, I am allowed to receive good things, until it becomes the new automatic response of your mind. At first, the mind resists, not because the new story is wrong, but because it is unfamiliar. Then slowly, gently, day by day, the mind shifts. The new story becomes the comfortable one, the empowering one, the natural one, the true one. Rewriting your story doesn't erase the past. It rewires your future. It changes the way you choose, the way you show up, the way you interpret the world, the way you allow life to meet you. Let me tell you something I've said in many workshops. Your mind is not who you are. Your mind is what you use. And when you use it consciously, lovingly, intentionally, it becomes your greatest ally. That is where mind programming comes in, not in a mechanical way, but in a loving, nurturing, patient way. You can program your mind the way you would teach a child gently, consistently, with kindness. If you live as though good things are coming, your mind begins to expect good things. When your mind expects good things, it stops panicking, stops bracing, stops rehearsing disaster. It loosens, it softens, it opens. And when your mind opens, creativity flows, intuition rises, opportunities feel possible again. I want you to imagine waking up tomorrow morning and acting as if everything you desire is already on its way, not because you are pretending, but because you are preparing. When you act as if the good is coming, you send a signal to your mind. We are safe. We are guided. We are supported. And your mind responds by shifting out of fear and into trust. Fear shrinks your world. Trust expands it. Fear narrows your choices. Trust multiplies them. Fear makes you cling to the old story. Trust allows you to write a new one. And here's the beautiful part. When the mind shifts, the world shifts with it. You see opportunities you once overlooked. You hear intuitive whispers you once ignored. You make bolder decisions because you are grounded in a belief that something good will meet you on the other side. You stop sabotaging yourself. You stop hesitating. You stop shrinking. You stop talking yourself out of the life you want. Acting as if is not fantasy, it is instruction. It instructs the mind to elevate. It instructs the heart to open. It instructs the body to relax. It instructs life to respond. I have watched people transform not because their circumstances suddenly changed, but because the way they told the story changed. A woman once said to me, "Louise, nothing good ever happens to me." And I said, "My darling, try saying instead, 'Good things find me easily.' Say it for 1 week and watch what happens." She came back a month later in disbelief, new relationships, new ideas, new confidence. Not because magic fell from the sky, but because she began living in a new narrative. She acted as if life loved her. And when she acted as if life loved her, life finally had permission to show her that it did. Let me remind you again, your story is not fixed. Your story is fluid. Your story is yours. If today you tell yourself, "I am unlucky," then your mind programs itself for bad luck. If tomorrow you tell yourself, "I am supported," your mind programs itself to look for support. Where the mind looks, the life follows. Where the mind trusts, the life opens. Where the mind softens, the life flows. This is why I encourage people to speak to themselves as if they are already the person they want to become. You program your mind by living as though the best is already on its way. Your mind begins to say, "This is who we are now. This is what we expect. This is the world we belong to." So let us speak it together, right here, right now. I act as if good things are coming. Feel how that changes the temperature inside your chest. Feel how your shoulders drop. Feel how your breath deepens. Feel how your nervous system calms. That is the power of mind programming. It is not complicated. It is not technical. It is not something reserved for experts or gurus or people with more knowledge than you. It is simply repeating the truth you want long enough for your mind to accept it as familiar. And once it becomes familiar, it becomes real. Once it becomes real, it becomes natural. Once it becomes natural, it becomes your life. My dear one, you deserve a story that honors you. You deserve a mind that supports you. You deserve thoughts that uplift you. And you have the power to create all of that. The story is yours. The pen is yours. The moment is yours. And when you act as if good things are coming, you invite life to join you in creating a reality worthy of your soul. My dear one, I want to speak to you about something that quietly shapes every moment of your life, the difference between reacting and creating. You see, most people live their entire lives in reaction. They react to the weather, to what someone said, to the economy, to their past, to their fear, to the smallest inconvenience. They wake up reactive. They walk through the day reactive. They go to bed reactive. And then they wonder why life feels so chaotic, so unpredictable, so heavy. When you live in reaction, you hand your power away moment by moment, thought by thought, emotion by emotion. But when you learn to shift into creation, when you choose your thoughts, choose your responses, choose your internal state, everything begins to change. And I mean everything. Let me say something I've said for decades. Life is not happening to you. Life is happening through you. And the moment you understand that, you stop reacting and you start creating. Reaction is automatic. Creation is intentional. Reaction is survival. Creation is freedom. Reaction is rooted in fear. Creation is rooted in choice. And you, my love, deserve a life built on choice, not fear. Think of reaction like this. It is your old programming, your old conditioning, your old wounds repeating themselves. Someone criticizes you, you shrink. Something goes wrong, you panic. A plan shifts, you tighten. None of that is your true self. All of that is habit. And habits can be changed. Patterns can be rewired. Responses can be softened and reshaped and healed. This is why I tell people all the time, you are not your reaction. You are the awareness behind it. The reaction is automatic. The awareness is powerful. When awareness enters, reaction has no choice but to dissolve. Now let's speak about creation. Creation is not about manifesting some huge miracle in one moment. Creation is the daily decision to choose your inner world before the outer world chooses for you. When you choose your inner world, your thoughts, your breath, your perspective, your attitude, you tap into power, not panic. You tap into calm, not chaos. You tap into alignment, not confusion. Creation begins the moment you pause. Just pause. One breath, 1 second, one soft moment of awareness. That is all it takes to interrupt a lifetime of reaction. I want you to imagine a small gap, a sacred little doorway between stimulus and response. Something happens. For most people, reaction is immediate. But for you, as you grow, that tiny gap gets bigger and bigger and bigger until one day you realize you're not living from reaction anymore, you're living from intention. You're creating your day instead of letting the day create you. You may ask, Louise, how do I shift from reaction to creation? And I say, you shift by choosing your inner state first. When your inner state is peaceful, your reaction is peaceful. When your inner state is grounded, your reaction is grounded. When your inner state is loving, your reaction is loving. And when your inner state is fearful, then everything becomes a threat, even when it is not. This is why I teach people to say, I choose thoughts that support me. Because thoughts create feelings, feelings create energy, energy creates reactions, and reactions create your life. If you change the thought, you change the entire chain. Let me explain this in a simple way. Reaction is unconscious momentum. Creation is conscious direction. Reaction says, I can't help it. Creation says, I choose differently. Reaction says, life decides for me. No, creation says, I decide who I am in this moment. Reaction comes from past programming. Creation comes from present power. And here is the most beautiful truth. You can shift into creation at any moment, even now, even here, even if your whole day has been reactive, even if your whole life has been reactive. One breath of awareness brings you back into choice. Let me give you something practical, something simple, something deeply. Whenever you feel yourself reacting, tightening, rushing, bracing, defending, place your hand gently on your heart and whisper, I choose peace. I choose presence. I choose me. This one phrase interrupts the old and invites the new. This one act pulls you out of unconscious reaction and places you back into conscious creation. Reaction says, everything is urgent. Creation says, I am safe. Nothing is urgent in my soul. Reaction says, I must control everything. Creation says, I trust the process of life. Remember what I always say, what you react to, you give power to. If you react to fear, fear grows. If you react to judgment, judgment grows. If you react to chaos, chaos grows. But when you respond from intention, calm grows, clarity grows, intuition grows, possibility grows. And oh, my dear, I want possibility to grow in you. I want that gentle spark of inner confidence to turn into a flame. I want you to wake up knowing that you can choose your thoughts, choose your energy, choose your direction, choose how you meet the world. Let me tell you a story. I once worked with a woman who reacted to everything. Every phone call made her anxious. Every email felt like an attack. Every task felt like pressure. She lived in a constant storm of reacting. Her shoulders were always tense, her jaw tight, her breath shallow. And I said to her, "My dear, your body is reacting as though life is a battlefield. But what if life is simply asking you to choose a new way of thinking?" That one question changed her life. She began placing her hand on her heart before responding to anything. She practiced a 3-second pause. She whispered affirmations. She allowed herself to breathe. And slowly, not instantly, not magically, but gently, she shifted from living in reaction to living in creation. Her family noticed. Her co-workers noticed. She noticed. She told me, "Louise, I didn't change my life. I changed my reactions, and my life changed itself." That is the power you hold. You do not need to fix circumstances. You do not need to fix people. You do not need to fix the world. You only need to choose your internal state, and the world begins to reorganize around you. This is what it means to create. Creation is silent. Creation is soft. Creation is inner alignment. Creation is choosing who you want to be before life tells you who to become. Reaction is automatic. Creation is artistic. Reaction is survival. Creation is spiritual. Reaction is noise. Creation is wisdom. So let us end this with the most important truth I can offer you. You are not here to react to life. You are here to create it. You are here to shape your energy, your thoughts, your beliefs, your presence. You are here to choose the frequency you live in, and life always, always, always will match it. Have you ever wondered, my dear one, why some people seem to receive blessings effortlessly while others struggle for years? Why one person relaxes and opportunities appear while another person tries so hard and nothing seems to move? The difference is not luck. The difference is not talent. The difference is not destiny. The difference, always and forever, is state. The inner state goes first. The outer results follow. And this is one of the greatest spiritual principles you will ever learn. Life responds to who you are being, not what you are wishing. So let us talk gently, openly, lovingly about this today, because I want you to understand this truth not with your mind, but with your whole being. You see, everything begins inside you. Everything. Long before anything appears in the physical world, it first appears in your consciousness. Long before anything arrives in your hands, it arrives in your energy. Long before life brings an opportunity to your door, it has already noticed whether your inner door is open or closed. Life does not respond to pressure. Life responds to presence. Life does not respond to fear. Life responds to readiness. Life does not respond to desperation. Life responds to inner alignment, and alignment is simply a state, a vibration, a frequency, an inner posture that says, "I trust, I am open, I am safe to receive." This is why I always tell people, change your inner state and your outer world cannot help but follow. It must follow, because reality is not random, it is responsive. You cannot demand peace and vibrate panic. You cannot ask for abundance and vibrate fear. You cannot want love while vibrating unworthiness. But when you shift into the state of the person who trusts, who softens, who allows, who opens, everything, and I do mean everything, begins to move. Let me explain this as simply as I can. State first, result second, always in that order, never the other way around. Most people live in reverse. They say, when life gets better, I will relax. When the money comes, I will feel worthy. When the relationship arrives, I will feel loved. When the opportunity appears, I will believe in myself. But, my darling, that is emotional waiting, and emotional waiting keeps life waiting too. Life cannot bring you something you are not aligned with. Life cannot deliver blessings into a heart that is still closed. Life cannot give you what you do not yet believe you deserve. So instead of waiting for the result to create the state, you create the state that invites the result. This is creation. This is power. This is spiritual alignment. This is how you begin to shape your life from the inside out. I want you to imagine a garden, your garden. Your mind is the soil. Your thoughts are the seeds. Your emotions are the climate, and life is the harvest. If you plant fear, you cannot harvest peace. If you plant doubt, you cannot harvest confidence. If you plant unworthiness, you cannot harvest abundance. But if you plant trust, if you plant openness, if you plant readiness, if you plant the belief that good things are on the way, your garden cannot help but bloom. This is why I want to take you into something very important, the simple daily practice. The practice that does not require candles or rituals or long hours of meditation. The practice that does not require spiritual perfection. The practice that works with your nervous system, your energy, and your subconscious mind. And the practice is this: be in the state of the result before the result arrives. Let me say that again. Softly, lovingly, slowly. Be in the state of the result before the result arrives. If you want peace, practice the feeling of peace now. If you want success, practice the feeling of confidence now. If you want abundance, practice the feeling of enoughness now. If you want love, practice the feeling of being lovable now. This is not pretending. This is not delusion. This is not denying reality. This is creating new reality by stepping into alignment before the world has caught up. Everything in life is energy, and energy moves toward energy. When you vibrate peace, peaceful experiences come. When you vibrate trust, supportive people appear. When you vibrate worthiness, opportunities that match your worth arrive. Life always matches your state. Let me give you an example. Imagine a woman who desperately wants a new job. She wakes every day saying, "I am so stressed, I need a job. What if nothing works? What if I fail?" Her mind vibrates fear. Her body vibrates tension. Her energy vibrates desperation. And life responds with more delay, more difficulty, more resistance, not as punishment, but as a mirror. Now, imagine another woman in the same situation. She wakes each morning, places her hand on her heart, and softly says, "The perfect opportunity is already on its way. I trust. I am open." She chooses a calm breath. She chooses a confident posture. She chooses the emotional state of someone who knows she is supported. Her energy softens. Her nervous system relaxes. Her intuition awakens. And life begins to move, not because she's lucky, but because she's aligned. You cannot receive what you are not prepared to hold. This is why we create the state first, because the state prepares you. Now let me teach you something deeper, something I have watched transform people's lives again and again. Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between imagination and reality. Your subconscious only knows the feelings you give it. If you feel peaceful, it says, "We are peaceful." If you feel abundant, it says, "We are abundant." If you feel lovable, it says, "We are lovable." And then your subconscious begins to filter, interpret, and respond to the world through that feeling, constructing a life that matches it. So when you say, "It is already done," you are not making a wish. You are sending a message to your subconscious. Prepare for this. Expect this. Align with this. And the subconscious mind, the most powerful creative force within you, begins to act as if the blessing has already arrived. It guides you to new choices. It opens your eyes to new possibilities. It dissolves fear. It rewires old patterns. It updates your internal story. The inner shift becomes the outer result. But here is what most people don't realize. You do not need perfect belief for this to work. You do not need to feel 100% confident. You do not need to eliminate all doubt. You only need to be willing, just willing, a little open, a little soft, a little trusting. Willingness creates space. Space creates energy. Energy creates movement. And movement creates results. Let me speak from my heart. You deserve to live in a state of trust, not tension. A state of openness, not fear. A state of enoughness, not lack. And you can step into that state right now without waiting for anything to change outside of you. Your breath can change. Your posture can change. Your thoughts can change. Your energy can change. And when you change, life changes. Because you are not waiting for the blessing, you are becoming the person who naturally receives it. So let me ask you gently, if your blessing arrived today, would you feel ready for it? Would your heart be open enough? Would your energy be soft enough? Would your mind be receptive enough? Would your inner state match the life you say you want? This is why we practice the state daily. We practice peace before peace arrives. We practice confidence before opportunity arrives. We practice worthiness before the relationship arrives. Not because we are forcing anything, but because we are preparing, aligning, allowing. Now, let me guide you into the practice itself. Imagine closing your eyes and stepping into the version of you who already has what you want. Imagine how you would breathe. Imagine how you would walk. Imagine how you would speak. Imagine how you would treat yourself. Imagine how you would feel in your chest, in your stomach, in your shoulders. Feel the lightness, feel the calm, feel the gratitude, feel the softness. This is the state that comes first, and you can step into it anytime you choose, in the morning, before bed, during your lunch break, while washing dishes, while commuting, while lying down. There is no wrong moment to align with your best self, because remember, you do not create with effort, you create with energy. And the simplest way to shift energy is through feeling, through breath, through intention, through choosing one gentle thought. It is already done. Let those words sink into you. Let them settle into your bones. Let them become your inner truth. When you say, "It is already done," you are not announcing a fantasy. You are announcing your alignment. You are saying, "I trust the timing. I trust the unfolding. I trust my own readiness." And when you trust, you relax. And when you relax, you become receptive. And when you become receptive, life can finally move toward you. My dear one, you have so much more power than you realize. You shape your life with your state. You sculpt your future with your energy. You call in blessings with your readiness. And readiness is simply a feeling, a vibration, a quiet knowing, a soft opening, a gentle shift inside you that says, "I am willing, I am open, I am ready. It is already done." And life, with all its love, responds. And now, my dear one, let us go even deeper into the realm where assumptions shape destiny, where your inner certainty becomes the sculptor of your outer world. You see, the mind has far more creative power than we were ever taught. We were taught to react, to fear, to expect the worst, to prepare for disappointment. But what we were not taught is that expectation itself is a creative force. Assumption is a creative force. Your inner certainty, the quiet, calm conviction you hold, becomes the architect of your reality. When you assume the good, you invite the good. When you assume the timing is perfect, the timing becomes perfect. When you assume you are guided, life begins to guide you in ways you could never have orchestrated on your own. So let us talk about the inevitable outcome, the place where your assumptions become magnetized, stabilized, and eventually unavoidable. I want you to understand something very profound. You do not manifest by chasing, you manifest by becoming. When you become the version of yourself who expects goodness, goodness must arrive. When you become the version of yourself who trusts timing, timing must align. When you become the version of yourself who believes you are guided, guidance must appear. Not because you are forcing life, but because life responds to your frequency the way a tuning fork responds to sound. It vibrates in harmony with who you are being. Let me say it softly but firmly. Life cannot contradict your dominant assumption. It can delay, it can dance, it can redirect, but it cannot deny the frequency you consistently hold. If your assumption is fear, life will show you things to validate that fear. If your assumption is unworthiness, life will present experiences that match that belief. But when your assumption is certainty, the gentle, grounded, calm certainty that says, everything works out for me, life must rise to meet that certainty. It must adjust. It must realign. It must reorganize itself around your inner truth. This is not magic. This is alignment, not manipulation, resonance, not control, co-creation. And I want you to understand the beauty of this. You never need to chase what already belongs to your frequency. When you are aligned with peace, peace finds you. When you are aligned with abundance, abundance finds you. When you are aligned with clarity, clarity finds you. When you are aligned with love, love finds you. Life gravitates toward the energy that mirrors its own. It is inevitable. It is natural. It is how creation works. So ask yourself gently, what is the dominant assumption I hold about my life? Do I assume struggle? Do I assume disappointment? Do I assume delay? Do I assume things are hard for me? Or do I assume support? Do I assume ease? Do I assume right timing? Do I assume guidance? Do I assume that blessings are always on their way? Because here is the truth you may not realize. Your assumptions are prayers, not the kind spoken with words, but the kind spoken with energy. Every assumption is a vibration you send out into the universe, and all vibrations return home carrying experiences that match their tone. This is why I want you to begin practicing soft assumptions, loving assumptions, supportive assumptions, the kind of assumptions that nourish your nervous system instead of draining it, the kind of assumptions that relax your shoulders instead of tightening your chest, the kind of assumptions that make your breath deeper instead of shorter. Assume you are guided. Assume things work out for you. Assume opportunities open for you. Assume you are supported by life itself. Assume that the next chapter is better than the last. Because when assumption becomes your foundation, results become inevitable. And now, my dear, let us move into something even more radiant, something that truly transforms the way you walk through the world, trusting the flow of your life. Trust is not passive. Trust is not naive. Trust is not sitting back and hoping for the best. Trust is a spiritual stance. Trust is inner intelligence. Trust is the willingness to believe that life is wiser than your fear. Trust is when you realize that life has a rhythm, a timing, a sacred choreography, and you are part of that choreography even when you don't yet understand the steps. So let's talk about flow. Flow is the natural movement of your life when you stop fighting with yourself. Flow is what happens when you stop holding rigid expectations and allow life to show you another way. Flow is the path of least resistance, not because nothing happens, but because what happens is aligned. Flow is not the absence of challenges. Flow is the presence of inner steadiness. I want you to imagine a river for a moment. The water doesn't push, it doesn't argue, it doesn't negotiate. It simply moves around rocks, around bends, across long stretches, through narrow passages, and eventually, effortlessly, it always finds its way to the ocean. That is the intelligence of flow, quiet, certain, unwavering. When you trust the flow of your life, you become like that river. You stop forcing. You stop panicking. You stop gripping. You stop trying to control what you were never meant to control. And you begin to let life guide you the way the river is guided, softly, intuitively, naturally. So many people are exhausted, not because life is hard, but because resistance is exhausting. Resistance to change, resistance to uncertainty, resistance to timing, resistance to the unknown. But when you trust the flow, resistance dissolves, your heart softens, your body unwinds, your mind becomes spacious, your intuition awakens, and you begin to see that life has been whispering directions to you all along. Let me tell you something very dear to my heart. Life never moves you backward. Even when you feel lost, even when things fall apart, even when the path seems unclear, life is not punishing you. Life is preparing you, guiding you, redirecting you, repositioning you, deepening you, stretching you. You are not being pushed down, you are being shaped. When you trust this, truly trust it, anxiety loosens its grip, fear loses its voice, pressure dissolves, because you begin to understand that life is not random, life is responsive, life is intelligent. Life is always, always, always working for your highest good, even when the present moment doesn't reveal that truth yet. Think of the times in your life when something fell apart only to create space for something better. Think of the times you wanted something so badly, and when it didn't happen, you were devastated, until later, when you realized it wasn't meant for you. Think of the people who left your life and how their absence later became a blessing. Think of the detours, the closed doors, the unexpected twists, the delays. Every single one of them shaped you into who you are today. This is why I say, nothing is out of order. Nothing is meaningless. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is random. Everything belongs. And when you trust the flow of your life, you step into harmony instead of conflict. Harmony with yourself, harmony with your path, harmony with your timing, harmony with your soul. Let me share something deeply simple but deeply powerful. You do not need to understand the flow for it to work. You only need to stop fighting against it. Understanding is a mental need. Trust is a spiritual one. Understanding says, show me why, show me how, show me when. Trust says, I don't need to know, I only need to allow. And the moment you allow, you align. The moment you align, you receive. You become the person who can say, I don't chase, I don't stress, I don't force, I trust, I allow, I receive. This is the energy that creates miracles, not pressure, not fear, not control. Miracles happen in soft hearts, not clenched fists. So let me ask you gently, lovingly, honestly, are you flowing with life or are you resisting it? Are you trying to rush the timing? Are you trying to fix everything yourself? Are you trying to force outcomes that are not aligned? Are you trying to carry burdens that were never meant for you? Are you trying to control the uncontrollable? If you are, my dear, let this be your permission to rest, your permission to soften, your permission to breathe, your permission to trust the flow again, your permission to let life guide you, support you, hold you, love you, because life does love you. Life always has. Life always will. And when you shift your assumptions, when you shift your state, when you trust the flow, a new reality begins to rise around you, not because you forced it, but because you aligned with it. You are safe to trust. You are safe to flow. You are safe to receive. And life, with its perfect timing, its perfect wisdom, its perfect intelligence, will meet you there. And now, my dear one, we arrive at the gentle doorway of this teaching, the moment where everything we've explored becomes something you can feel, not just understand, something you can live, not just listen to. Because an affirmation is not a sentence. It is not a nice phrase. It is not a decoration for the mind. An affirmation is a declaration of who you are becoming. An affirmation is an agreement you make with life. An affirmation is a permission slip you sign with your own soul. And today, I want to guide you into the energetic space where these words become your new inner home. You have listened, you have softened, you have opened, and now I want you to feel the shift happening inside you. Not forced, not dramatic, not pressured, simply present, simply true, simply yours. You see, the moment you speak an affirmation with willingness, even if you are not yet confident, even if you are not yet convinced, you change your relationship with your future. You say to life, I am ready. You say to your mind, we are choosing differently now. You say to your heart, you can breathe again. You say to the universe, show me what's possible. And the universe always responds, always. Maybe not instantly, maybe not the way you expect, maybe not in the form you imagined, but it responds in the perfect timing, in the perfect sequence, in the perfect arrangement for your highest good. So take a breath with me now, a slow, soft, kind breath. Inhale gently and exhale even more gently. Feel your shoulders lower, feel your chest soften, feel your jaw unclench. Feel your nervous system saying, thank you. Because in this moment, with this breath, with this softness, you are preparing yourself to receive. And receiving is a spiritual skill, one many people have forgotten. Many people know how to chase. Many people know how to fear. Many people know how to control. But receiving, allowing, trusting, these are the skills that transform lives. These are the skills that shift timelines. These are the skills that open doors that effort alone can never open. So let us begin. I will speak the affirmation to you. Then I want you to imagine that your heart is speaking it back. It doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't need to be perfect. It only needs to be sincere, even if the sincerity is small. Tiny sincerity creates enormous change. The first affirmation is, I act as if good things are already coming to me. My dear, this is not pretending. This is preparing. This is aligning. This is attuning your energy to the frequency of possibility instead of the frequency of fear. When you act as if good things are coming, you soften your shoulders instead of tightening them. You walk with hope instead of dread. You breathe with openness instead of bracing for pain. You speak with confidence instead of shrinking into doubt. You become a match for blessings because blessings are drawn to hearts that expect them. So say it softly inside yourself. I act as if good things are already coming to me, and feel what happens. Your chest expands a little, your breath deepens a little, your mind quiets a little, because this affirmation gives your nervous system permission to live in trust instead of tension. It tells your subconscious, we are safe to hope again. It tells life, I am standing in the vibration of receiving. Now, let us move to the second affirmation. I trust the flow of my life. This is one of the most healing truths you can ever embody, because so much suffering comes from fighting the flow, resisting the timing, resisting the change, resisting the uncertainty. But life has a rhythm. Life has cycles. Life has seasons. And when you trust the flow, you stop standing in your own way. You stop holding the steering wheel so tightly that you forget you are not the only one guiding the car. You stop doubting every twist, every delay, every redirection. You begin to say, if this is here, it is here for me. If this is changing, it is changing for me. If this door closes, another one must be opening. Trust is a soft power. Trust is a quiet strength. Trust is the exhale that tells your soul, we can rest now. So whisper it again, I trust the flow of my life. And feel what that does to your body. There is a loosening, a spaciousness, a peace that enters the room. Now let us softly step into the third affirmation. Life supports me in every possible way. Oh, my dear, if you truly knew how deeply life supports you, you would never spend another moment in fear. Life supports you through people who appear at the right moment. Life supports you through inner nudges you cannot explain. Life supports you through doors that open just before you lose hope. Life supports you through delays that protect you from harm. Life supports you through endings that redirect you to beginnings. Life supports you through coincidences that are not coincidences at all. And when you adopt this belief, when you allow it, when you accept it, when you practice it, you walk differently, you breathe differently, you speak differently, because you know you are not doing any of this alone. So feel the affirmation inside your heart, like a warm blanket. Life supports me in every possible way. And now we arrive at the final affirmation, the one that ties everything together, the one that aligns your inner world with the reality you are calling in. I am aligned with ease, clarity, and good fortune. Say it slowly, as if each word is a drop of honey. I am aligned with ease, with clarity, with good fortune. Feel how your nervous system reacts. Ease softens your muscles. Clarity brightens your mind. Good fortune expands your chest with hope. This affirmation is not about asking for luck. It is about stepping into resonance, because ease is your natural state. Clarity is your inner wisdom. And good fortune is simply the expression of a mind that expects good. The more you repeat this, the more your energy shifts. The more your energy shifts, the more life rearranges itself around you. Not because life suddenly became better, but because you became aligned with the version of life that was waiting for you all along. Now, take another breath, slow, gentle, loving, and as you breathe out, imagine that you are releasing every old assumption, every old fear, every old story that no longer fits who you are becoming. Imagine it leaving your body like smoke. Imagine it dissolving into light. Imagine it vanishing into the air. And now imagine yourself standing on new ground, soft ground, steady ground, ground that welcomes your next chapter. You are not the person who began listening to these words. You are softer now. You are more open. You are more trusting. You are more aligned. Something in you has shifted, even if only 1 degree. But 1 degree of inner change creates an entirely different horizon. So let these 4 affirmations become your companions. I act as if good things are already coming to me. I trust the flow of my life. Life supports me in every possible way. I am aligned with ease, clarity, and good fortune. Say them in the morning and watch the day rearrange itself. Say them at noon and watch your energy settle. Say them before bed and watch your future soften in your direction. Repeat them gently. Repeat them lovingly. Repeat them until they feel like the truth, because one day soon they will be. And always remember, my dear one, life loves you. Life supports you. Life responds to you. And life is preparing something beautiful for you right now, even as you breathe.